Is your wife breastfeeding?
Not anymore. We did it first. Yeah.
Okay, so, and this is serious. Like, when you have twins, do you wait to feed them, or do you feed them at the same time?
So, listen, man. First off, I discovered why men have nipples because I was able to help too. It really worked out, you know. I'm joking, of course.
Oh, I was because we both were like,
You see how everybody got quiet?
Martin said over here, he like, so I was glad to see that because I was like, all right, I'm not the only one that's confused right now. Because if I say something, I'm gonna look like an asshole.
If I tried that with my kids, they would have kicked my ass.
You guys were so quiet. You're like,
I was like, I was mad. That's a you son of a bitch, Stuckman. You got now. I don't feel so bad about what I was saying. I was like, does he have a strap on nipple? Hey everyone, do you enjoy Double Toasted? Then put it on your body. Check out our tpublic.com merch store where you'll find all these wonderful designs that look great on high quality t-shirts with more designs coming soon. Or check out other high quality items such as mugs, pillows, tote bags, and more. Once again, that is tpublic.com, teepublic.com, or click the link in the description below. Please welcome once again to the show somebody that I admire very much, somebody I have great conversations with whenever I do have a conversation with him. No need for an introduction here for this man, but I'm going to do it anyway. Mr. Chris Stuckmann. That's not him. There he is right there. Chris Stuckmann, what's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing, man? Good to see you.
Hey, it's good to see you too, man. It's been quite a while, and so much time has passed that, am I allowed to say what's happening in your life right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, since the last time we talked, the man had twins, I believe.
Twins? Oh,
yeah,
my
you
God.
had twins, right?
Yeah. Actually, you're speaking to Chris Stuckmann's ghost. I actually died. I've been resurrected. Yeah, no, it's been a busy, crazy year. Like, I have 8-month-old twin boys. They're crawling now. They just figured out how to crawl, and they're mobile. And like, you know, I wake them up in the morning, and a few months ago, they would just want to like spend every waking minute right next to me. But now I wake them up, and they're like, just put me on the play mat, give me a toy. I want to. They already want to be independent. They want to just go and, you know, roll all over the place. So I love them to death, man. Honestly, like I won't lie, I was terrified to be a father, just really, really scared, and just I have never felt so much joy than when I see them laugh. Like when they laugh, it is literally like the epitome of a joy that a human could feel, I think. And it sounds so cheesy, but like it really is true.
It does.
Hey, don't feel bad about that. It always sounds cheesy when somebody else says it, but then when you're living it, it's real.
Yeah.
No, every time when I was before I was a parent, every time I saw like somebody talking about their kid, my baby's so beautiful, and so I'd be like, your baby's ugly, man. What are you talking about? Like, but it's just an ugly baby. You are blind. And now that I'm a parent, like I'm thinking all those thoughts, and it's terrible. I've lost my mind, and I love them though.
No, man, you know what? Wow. This is amazing to hear because I remember when you were talking about being, your wife being pregnant at the time, and you're like, yeah, I mean, you never seemed like, if you say you were terrified, you never seemed like you were, man. You always seemed like you were real cool and ready for it, and you had your mind in the right place. So if you were scared, you never showed it.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was, on the day that she, we didn't have a schedule. We had a scheduled potential delivery day, but with twins, you never know. And she was able to carry them for 37 weeks out of 40, being the max. And so, I mean, my wife did like amazing superhero work. But I woke up that day and my mother-in-law was like rushing her to the hospital, and she was like, "It's happening." And I was like, "Oh my God." It was like that scene in Signs, because that's all I talk about is Signs. When Mel Gibson is like, "It's happening," and I was like, "Oh God, here we go."
Your mother-in-law was on the roof, and she looked down. Nah, man, This is really great to hear. I mean, keep going, but this is amazing, man. Because like I said, you were at a different place, and you were being very honest about your life last time we talked, and so it's really cool to see how your life has taken a turn and where you are now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I won't lie, the first few months were it was just turmoil and it wasn't like anything wrong was happening. It was just like adjusting to having 2 babies at home. And like what that actually means and what that looks like, because you hear about, you can read every article you could ever think to read about parenting. You can look at every, instructional video. You can have a million other parents tell you what they think are the problems. But until it's like 3:47 a.m. and you're like, oh my God, they're both crying right now. And you only have so many arms. It's like, how do I deal with this? And once we got them on like a concrete schedule and they liked the schedule, like they knew when their nap time was, when their feed time was. As soon as that set in, it was like we were flying. We're like, okay, now we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So.
Now this is gonna seem like a joke, and it's not. I'm gonna ask this while I am thinking about it. You already smile like, what kind of bullshit you about to say right now? It is not. People think I'm trying to be funny. I'm not. I'm being dead serious. But when you have, is your wife breastfeeding?
Not anymore. We did it first, yeah.
Okay, so, and this is serious. Like, when you have twins, do you wait to feed them, or do you feed them at the same time?
So, listen, man. First off, I discovered why men have nipples because I was able to help too. It really worked out, I'm joking, of course.
Oh, I was because we both.
You say how everybody got quiet.
Martin said over here, he's like, so I was glad to see that because I was like, all right, I'm not the only one that's confused right now. Because if I say something, I'm gonna look like an asshole.
If I tried that with my kids, they would have kicked my ass.
You guys were so quiet. You're like,
I was like, man, that's you son of a bitch, Stuckmann. You got. Now I don't feel so bad about what I was saying. I was like, does he have a strap on nipple? Is he lactating?
Learn something new every day, huh?
Yeah. Like when you have twins, does the father get milk too? Did it just feel good?
Apparently, I can act too because I fooled you into thinking I wasn't scared for having kids, and I also had you going about men lactating.
You got me. I ain't got no kids. Now you ain't got no excuse because you dead.
No. I knew he couldn't have been lactating, but I was like, well, maybe he's using his nipple like a baby's nipple, just something to tease
keep
on.
the kid waiting, like keep him occupied before mom's nipple is free.
I was still trying to work that out. I was like, my kids would not go for that at all.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I thought
seriously.
Now this is what I seriously thought, and I'm not bullshit. I thought that they had some like fake nipple for dudes. Like mom had, no, seriously, and I think they do. I think like they have a fake nipple for dudes where like your wife, she already stored up milk, so while the one kid is feeding, you can take the other kid and actually, breastfeed him with the fake nipple that actually. Like,
that's actually not a bad idea.
I think that's a thing.
Somebody like. You might be able to find that on Etsy, but
well, it sounds like you're a good candidate to get one.
So, like, to actually answer your question, I apologize for being an asshole. To actually answer your question,
you know what? It was an asshole question to begin with.
It was not. I tried to ask a real simple, straightforward question. You're an asshole, Chris Stuckmann. No, man. But feel free to answer the question. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. So it actually is called tandem feeding. And so the woman will hold both babies at once, and both babies will have access at the same time. And so, like, when they're young, that's doable. You're still laughing.
Well, he called me an asshole for asking the question, and it turns out you were right. I was right.
No, I said it was an asshole question. I didn't say you were an asshole for asking.
It's literally called tandem feeding. When they're like newborns, it's doable because they're so small. And then once they're a little older, you have to like get sort of like a body pillow that allows that to take place. But it's a lot of strain on her, and she was very like, physically weak for a few months. Plus, she was recovering from the whole procedure, and so it was just a learning experience really for everybody. But gratefully, the kids really immediately instantly liked the formula as well. So we did both. We did formula as well as breast milk, and so
somebody looks like they might have. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. It was funny because somebody in the chat looks like they've done this because they said it's exhausting. Somebody probably has done this in the chat. Yeah, that's Stace OXO. She I imagine she's been through that experience. But the thing about having twins and, you know, being able to handle it the way that you have, I guess making a movie is nothing now, right?
I'll be honest, man. Like, very little scares me anymore. Like the stuff that I get scared of is stupid. Like little tiny things that mean nothing. But all these big things, I just get very excited.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so ready to go like on this movie, man. I'm so tired of waiting, to be honest, because it's just been so long. I met the company that's doing it, Paper Street, at the end of 2019. And we've been talking about it since then, like pre-pandemic. And as you guys know, anything pre-pandemic feels like 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's just been so much prep. And this Kickstarter that we're doing has surpassed like every expectation that I had. We set an initial goal of 250,000. We hit that in 24 hours. And then it just kept going. And as of right now, as you can see, the number is where it is, which
it's like $922,000, $922,607.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, you set a record on Kickstarter for a film, right?
Yeah, we did. We did. We set a record. So like, we looked at the horror tab on the site and we were like, all right, what kind of movies have come from here? And I think the highest grossing one at the time was 381. There was another horror comedy that had gotten about 600, I think, thousand, but it wasn't submitted under the horror tab. He put it under the comedy tab. But even if he did submit it under the horror tab, we still broke that record too. So it's like, it's kind of nuts. And we started thinking like maybe this could be something that like some outlets would want to cover. And, you know, we reached out to a lot of different outlets about like potentially running that story, and nobody wanted to do it. People were like, what is this, some YouTuber thing? Like, what does this mean? Like, who you know? And it doesn't help that it's not an IP. You know, Leatherface isn't in it. Michael Myers is not in this. You know, Freddy. So there's no like traction that they feel like they could generate from talking about it just based off of like what it's about. And until the fine people over at Deadline Hollywood, you know, heard about that and were like, hey, that sounds like something that's actually newsworthy. And turns out Deadline Hollywood, you know, they're like the entertainment outlet. Like everybody in the industry gets their automated emails in the morning. And so when they ran that story, it was the craziest 24 hours like ever, second to when my kids were born, of course. But like everyone that I respected in the industry was like messaging me on Twitter and like privately. And then my manager, my at Gotham Group was getting blown up in his inbox too. And like at least two at the now really reputable film studios have reached out asking for the script. And so we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, like we have the money to make the movie now, but if like another studio wants to come in and acquire the film, which would be incredible.
You could pocket the money and let them make it.
Yeah, right. No, of course not. But like, you know, if they wanted to either add to the budget or also just what could potentially happen if that were to happen, I'm of course just speculating, it's could all be BS, but like if they were to acquire the movie, then we would be looking at a much better theatrical release with more screens and just a better marketing push in general. Something similar happened with Paranormal Activity. I don't know if you guys know the history of that production, but the actual movie itself was shot for $15,000. Now, that's not the movie everyone saw, because when Blumhouse acquired Paranormal Activity, they then put in something like $150,000 just to sound design. So, like, the movie everybody saw in theaters wasn't the $15,000 version, but it was the same movie just with, like, you know, Hollywood level sound design and stuff. And so that's also a potentiality. I don't know. Anything could happen. This is all, it's like unknown territory to me.
El Mariachi, if you remember that, you know.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, you know, everybody, the marketing was this guy made this movie for $9,000, but they had to put in another several $100,000 to make it, something that could be theatrically released. When you put marketing in there and going in and sweetening up things like the sound and whatnot, it was much more. So I could see that happening with what you're talking about, Paranormal Activity. But for your movie, can I go in and show people the trailer for the film that you're making? And you're making a horror movie, and I was already on the Kickstarter. You're making a horror movie called Shelby Oaks. Mm-hmm. And as I'm looking up here, it just went up.
Oh, damn.
It just went up.
Yeah, sure. Oh, wow, it's moving now.
It's going up as we speak. I think we're actually doing that ourselves, driving people to the site over here. But yeah, 923,000. Wow, look at this. It's going up as we speak, man. Do you just sit here and just stare at this all day, looking at the money go up?
I don't stare at it all day. I usually look at it like once an hour.
Still a lot.
Like,
all right. Just once every hour.
Once an hour, and then every 15 minutes after 9 o'clock.
Like, I went to bed this morning, okay, and yes, I went to bed this morning because I'm still on this night shift, bullshit. I went to bed this morning and it was at 730. I woke up, it was at 860.
Wow, man.
And I only slept for like 6 hours, so I don't know. I was told by the people who are helping us manage this campaign, they're out of the United Kingdom. They've done successful Kickstarter campaigns before, and they kind of are like our mentors, basically. They said that the final 72 hours, you always see a spike similar to the first 72 hours. Yeah. And it's like, it's going to go away and let's go, So, yeah, I don't know what's happening, but it's weird, because I've made a lot of thank you videos for the Kickstarter that are privately on the Kickstarter just for the backers. Yeah. And every time we hit a stretch goal, I've been like, I'm just completely surprised by this. And it's been true every time. When I woke up today, I don't even know if surprise is the right word. I don't know how to describe it's just like I don't understand. And it's a good feeling, but I don't know how it's happening. And it's really amazing, and it makes me feel a lot of joy, but it's also like a real push inside of me to want to deliver and to want to make the best film that I'm capable of, and with our script and everything. But also I want to give a sobering reminder, as we go forth in this production, this is still an indie horror movie, it's not like we're making a Marvel film or something. So as long as expectations are managed in that way, I feel like we have a good chance of making something cool.
I love the whole process behind indie filmmaking, man. I've always been kind of a do-it-yourself person anyway, so to see you doing this is amazing. I'm going to take a look at this trailer right now, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Shelby Oaks, the independent horror movie.
Shelby Oaks is a horror film about missing paranormal investigators who were very active in the YouTube sphere around the mid-2000s when the platform first launched.
I got to ask you a question, man.
Technically, in the film, Shelby Oaks is like an abandoned town that's just filled with, we've actually shot portions of it in Cleveland in an actual abandoned, for the paranormal paranoid parts of it. We've shot portions of it in Cleveland at this abandoned street, and it's been pretty cool. And a lot of people don't know this, but I was there shooting all of those the found footage-y parts of the movie with the actors. All of that was under my direction and everything.
So is this something from the movie here?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right, we actually burned somebody alive. No. So what is this from? I'm just curious. This right here.
Oh, that's basically it's an example of behind the scenes footage from I believe The Pale Door, one of the Streets films. So it's an example of the kind of stuff that we would be able to do for the Kickstarter, just providing behind the scenes footage of the film to the backers only, before anyone else can see it.
You really have a way of telling a story. You really have a way of narrating something, man, that makes people want to be behind you. I thought that this was, your video that you made here. I thought that was very cool. That a lot of people get on there and they say, "Give me some money," But you said, I really want to. Once this is done and is funded, I want to take you guys with me, as you said, on this journey of making this movie. I thought that was a great selling point for this.
Thank you. I won't lie, like I had to be really convinced by a lot of people on this movie to even do the campaign, because I just felt so, I didn't want to feel like I was asking people for money. I've never done anything. I've never done a Kickstarter ever in like 13 years. And so I just didn't want it to come off that way. And I wanted it to be about the film and making the best film that I can for people. And we were just in a place, especially after the almost IATSE strike happened, where we just couldn't. We didn't have the money we needed to make the movie, and it was going to be, there were going to be so many sacrifices and so many corners were going to be cut, and we just realized that this was the best way to do it. And you know, not in my wildest dreams would we be close to 1 million right now. Not even in my wildest dreams. And so there's just so much. I'm so thankful for people's generosity.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just one of those people who just wants to say, I knew you when you were on Kickstarter and getting your shit started. You know, I want bragging rights. That's all I want, man.
Come on. This is like, I appreciate it, man. But like, if I get to that point, there's nowhere I can go but down. So.
Don't say that, man. Don't say it. Man, don't do that.
You know, like, just be like, I'm just the guy from Ohio, and that's how I feel.
That's what people say all the time before they made it. You know,
kid from Akron.
I'm just a guy, man. I'm just like everybody else until you got millions of dollars and you ain't. Now cut the bullshit, Chris. Okay, yeah, you just a guy right now, a guy with a goddamn $1 million from Kickstarter. You know, when you one of those directors that's made these horror movies and people want to know, like, oh man, this horror is so amazing. He must actually really be supernatural in real life. You know, when you get Johnny Depp and your fake M. Night Shyamalan documentary that you remember when he did that?
No.
M. Night Shyamalan did a documentary about himself back in the day. And trying to convince people, like, you know what? I might be an otherworldly person.
Oh, no.
That's where these genius ideas come from. That's going to be you, Chris Stuckmann.
All people have secrets.
Yes.
Life would be boring without secrets.
Life would be boring without secrets, don't you think?
What did I just watch?
I love that documentary so much because it's so crazy. Like, I did a whole video about that like a year ago, because I like, so that came out right before The Village, and it was essentially a giant thing, a promotional tool to promote The Village. And I'm pretty sure that someone at some point said, hey, M. Night, you want to do like a behind the scenes making of The Village? And he was probably like, yeah, sure. And then somebody in the room said, hey, what if we like just make a fake mockumentary and pretend like you're in touch with demons, and that's why all your movies are so good. And more than likely, somebody in the room was like, that actually sounds kind of interesting. Because like, if it was like a fictional film, that does sound interesting. If like the idea of like a journalist who's going to go interview a director for behind the scenes, a puff piece about The Village, okay? And then over the course of the documentary uncovers that there's some sinister shit. If that was a film, like just a narrative film that someone wrote, that sounds fun. Mm-hmm. But this is it was literally just like a hoax to promote The Village. People were genuinely confused by it because it was on the Sci-Fi Channel. And it's actually brilliant. Like, it's hilarious, but it's incredible that it happened. He had to make like a public apology and everything. It was amazing.
Oh wow, full on Orson Welles.
Yeah. Well, except that it was kind of, he was stroking his own ego.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was one of those things where he says,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
my ideas are so
Yeah.
great. They don't come from this world. You know, they come from.
My favorite part of it is?
What's up?
My favorite part of the documentary is, so when M. Night Shyamalan first appears in it, like the lady, his assistant, is like, don't look him in the eye. And I was like, okay, you wrote that? That's going to make you look like shit. But anyway, so the cameraman is like hiding behind some bushes, like zooming in on M. Night Shyamalan as he walks in. And the audio starts going, and like text comes up that says, first of many audio disruptions.
Oh, no.
So whenever Shyamalan's on screen in the doc, the audio doesn't work properly. And so, like, the whole time I'm just thinking, then how does this guy make movies? I can't record anything when he's around sound equipment.
Well, that's when his full power is in effect, when he's on set. You know, when he's talking to mere mortals like us, we can't understand his level. That's why it doesn't come across on audio. It's like some H.P. Lovecraft shit.
Right.
Like if we really understood what he was saying, we would lose our goddamn minds. I can, like I said, I could talk to you all day, man. And you know, it was funny because we did that interview, and I had a screen to go to, and I just kind of because after we did the interview, him and I talked for like another hour and a half.
Yeah.
Of, you know, just about his life and life in general and doing YouTube and stuff. And I mean, and I'm not saying that to be like, oh, me and Chris are awesome friends. You know, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that this guy is just so, you see him making this movie. You see him with his channel, hyper successful, crazy successful, and just still a genuine guy, man.
Sure.
Just real nice. That's why I can sit up here and talk to this guy all day long, man. And because of the kind of person you are, again, I say this with no condescending attitude. It just makes me really proud for you, man, with all the success you have.
Thank you very much.
I thought you shake your head like fucking lying, man.
You're full of shit. I don't have a part for you in the movie. Just stop it. Let me cut you off right there.
Any room for a 6'3" black guy? Shelby Oaks sounds like the hood, man. You might need me up in there. I could be the new Candyman. Hey, look, I know you got the kids. I know you're busy with the movie. I know you're busy with everything else that you have going on in your life, man. I'm not going to keep you too long because, like I said, I will keep you here if I don't stop myself. But again, congratulations. And anything else you want to tell us before we go?
Listen, I just thank you for having me on. I mean, it was really cool to be able to talk to you again, and also for showing the Kickstarter trailer. You didn't have to do that. That was awesome. Thank you. Just like, I'll come on the show anytime, man. I love talking to you, and I tell people I know Corey Coleman. So I don't know what.
What the hell is that?
I tell people I know Chris Stuckmann.
and they're still friends with you anyway. That's pretty cool.
How many times you heard that mother? That son of a bitch. Well, you tell him. Any questions from anybody?
You know what? No. It's all cool. Congratulations. I think the thing I like the most, like, I'm curious about the movie, but I love even more the fact that you're going to take people on the journey to see the behind the screens and talk about the real story behind how hard it is or what it takes to make a movie. That's really interesting.
You know,
and I was going to request that you put the screen back up there because I want to see those numbers jump again. That's fascinating.
It's $596.
I know.
$926,596.
Wow.
I love that he's talking about taking people on the journey. And that shit's going to end up being some M. Night Shyamalan shit. Come with me.
That'd be hilarious if you watch it and he starts out humble, and by the end, it's that, hey, don't make eye contact, snapping assistance.
Come with Stuckmann as he shows you the otherworldly place where his genius originates.
I'm going to scare the hell out of you.
The truth is that when I was trying to learn about filmmaking, I would be looking at, advice videos from successful directors and writers and reading books about it. And everyone, they kind of all spoke about filmmaking in like greeting card quotes. Like everything was like this inspirational sound bite. I took nothing from it. You hear like these really, and a lot of them are like, they're in their 60s and 70s now, and they're like, well, when I was a kid, we shot on Super 8 film, and I cut it together with scissors, and I stole my dad's Lincoln Logs and stuff. And everybody's got a phone now, and everyone's got a computer, so, you have no excuse. And I'd be like, well, yeah, but everyone also has a phone and has a computer, and so it's oversaturated, and, like, everyone's trying to do it. So, the whole, like, go out and shoot a movie thing, I get it, but because, like, in general, what they're saying is you need to, like, actively be involved in creating something regularly to kind of get better at it is essentially what they're saying. Get your friends together and shoot something if you can. But it really doesn't actually tell anyone anything about, like, the smaller aspects of, like, how do you query a manager? How do you send, material to a manager? Do you even do that?
Yeah.
How do you get their emails? How do you talk to to people who might want to represent you. How do you query an agent? You know, what kind of page length is too much? You know, what's not quite enough? You know, formatting stuff that sounds boring that nobody wants to talk about, but it's the stuff that keeps executives from finishing your scripts. When they open it up and on page 1, they see all this stuff that they toss it away. And like, I really want people to like kind of learn that kind of stuff, the kind of stuff that I needed to know when I was starting out.
Just because things have become more democratized. You know, everybody has digital now. Everybody can afford the art tools. Everybody can afford the equipment. Everybody can afford the cameras and whatnot to make something decent. But it just goes to show you that having a passion and just actually doing it. Yeah, that's the key thing, just doing it. That still is the biggest key, right?
I think for me, the biggest thing was just like the hardest thing that I dealt with really was just the waiting, because at some point you kind of decide you're ready to do something and or at least that you would really like to try to do it like now. And it's never just with filmmaking, it's never just going to happen, you know, next month. And every time you kind of like feel like you climbed a step higher on the ladder, it never really happens. It just, you keep getting closer, like, oh, I just, you know, some famous director just, you know, followed me on Twitter or something, or what, you know, just like little things like that give you a little boost of self-esteem. But then like at some point you have to like start to figure out how the system works, and you know, there's screenwriting contests that in general are usually bullshit.
Yeah.
If you can upload something to the blacklist and get a good, like an 8 or above on the blacklist, that can help, because if you get an 8 above, then you go out in the industry email for that week, and that can be helpful. You know, I've got a script option because of the blacklist. And so there's things like that like you can use as tools, but like in general, you're going to hear the word no a lot. You're going to be rejected a lot. And you're going to have to get used to that and not take it personally, especially because at the early stage of getting a film off the ground, it's like nice no's. They're like, people are kind of being nice to you. If you actually get to a point where a studio has your film and they're like taking a fine-tooth comb through it, if you're pissed off from the nice no's, wait until you get to like the studio point where they're like, page 12, line 4. I don't understand why they said that. I'm like, well, I'll explain. That doesn't make sense to me. Take it out. Like, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You kind of have to get like a barrier to that and just focus on making the best film you can.
Yeah, that's true, because I got the mean nose early on. For whatever I was doing, I got the hell nose. Oh, hell no, man. Security, go get this. But another couple of months, can we catch up with you when you're not busy and you can get, you know, kind of fill us in on what's happening with the production?
Of course. We will be shooting this summer, but when we're done, man, like I'm gonna, of course, yeah. I mean, I'll come on your show anytime.
No, it's always great to talk to you, man. I wish I could talk to you more. You're just not only a great and nice person to talk to, but you're also pretty wise. I like the knowledge on you, man. It ain't funny. I mean,
thank you, man. You see, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm getting gray in my beard. So
them kids, man.
Yeah, there's a lot more where that came from.
Hey, take some of mine. So, all right, Chris, man, we're gonna let you get back to it, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Stuckmann, successful content creator, father, and filmmaker. Thank you, sir.
Father. Oh no.
Father. Yes, father. I mean, that's what it is, man. So
it's true.
Yeah, no, thank you,
someone
sir.
says it. Until someone says it to your face, it's like, no, I'm still single. I'm single.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, hey, you've been married for a while now and you have 2 children. And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat said you got that dad beard going on.
They ain't lying. I got it.
Yeah. Nah, man. You look great, though. You look great. You're going to be, you know, that's the thing. Your kids are lucky to have you, man. So that's that. It's like I always envy kids who have creative parents, man. So to hell with your kids, man. No, that's great. No, it's wonderful, man. Hey, like I said, I don't want to keep you, man. Thank you so much, Chris. Always great to catch up with you, man.
You guys too. Have a good one, everybody.
All right.
See you,
Bye.
man. Bye-bye. See you. And there he goes.
That guy's cool. I like him.
Yeah. He's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Stuckmann, once again. Hey, he's a great guy to talk to, right?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Very down to earth. He's funny.
Humble.
Well, that's for now.
Yeah,
We'll see. If we had stayed on once it hit $1 million, he'd have been like, "Fuck all you."
What the hell am I doing here?
Who are you again?
Yeah, exactly. Who is that?
I got amnesia.
Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts.